what they're talking about online or influencing kids online is just a persona and not real, that's dangerous.
I would say for the influencer space, there are definitely a lot of authentic influencers, but I think the piece that people get wrong with a lot of them is that they're flawless.
Yeah, especially on the fitness side, right? You got to be either jacked or super lean to go to even be worthy of going in the gym. So I agree. Yeah, it's a mistake a lot of people make because many people find the gym for all sorts of different reasons. For you, it was the mental health you talked about, and then also getting stronger for the sport of wrestling, and then finally just becoming more physically fit for your personal satisfaction. Other people find the gym and they might be overweight, trying to lose a little weight, and that's a tough one because they might see other fit people and get self-conscious. But everybody has their own path and should be allowed to do so.
Well, Coach Volkmar, how are you doing today?
Another Wednesday, so we are post-workout right now. Got finished up our speed work with the football players. Right now is in-season baseball. We've got a big game, I believe quarterfinals of the States on Friday, so it's that time of year.
States on Maples?
You know what? I get them all confused because there's about 4 teams in each division, so I don't know the difference. But yes, we have a playoff game on Friday at Hun to determine what we do this weekend. So guys getting in the last lift, so it's all good.
Amazing. How's the new facility coming?
The physical plan's wonderful. I'm surprised how well it's gone. There's been not a single hiccup. Got a video. I don't know if we can share. Actually, I got to talk to Ms. Patel if we can share those kind of communications.
Put it up.
Yeah, we'll see if that is a secret. But second floor is built. You can kind of see that opening, right, where the glass is going to be. I know they made the mistake of leaving the door open yesterday. That was nice. We got a couple good looks.
Yeah.
So second floor is built. It's all framed out where we're going to have general fitness in the faculty upstairs. Both rowing programs will have their own room. Both golf programs will have their own room. Yoga and fitness will have their own room. And then the varsity athletes will be with me downstairs where we've always been. But now with a ceiling. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but we'll be okay. And then, of course, we have these massive pillars that we got to contend with.
Do you miss the vibe of the old gym? I remember I used to love how open it was. Everything about it. I mean, just coming here, I started lifting maybe like sophomore year, and I immediately just love the atmosphere of that room, and I always have good.
Sophomore year, was that prime COVID? Was that
COVID,
post?
I think my freshman year was the hybrid year, so COVID hit. You
weren't lifting outside, were you? Were you lifting outside freshman year?
Well, freshman year I was not really into lifting to begin with.
So sophomore year you were in the gym though, right?
Yeah, so I started lifting near the end.
Yeah, we were good to go then. Okay.
Yeah. So around the beginning of my sophomore is when I got serious about it, because over the summer I started lifting.
Good.
But I think the gym at that time was open.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those places that if I look back at Peddie, that room I can think back to is one of the most memorable parts of the experience.
Wow.
Lifting has been a big theme of my life, and I think you've done an amazing job of building
very
a culture.
Cool. That's very cool.
I think that something I noticed about this school in particular is that it has a much bigger emphasis on getting people in the gym.
Okay. Coach Frank's big deal too with the wrestling. If it comes from
those are the big two.
If it comes from the sports coach, it's emphasized, then the kids will follow through with it. So you were lucky enough to be on his team and under his tutelage that you had to come from both sides. So he was a big deal with that regard. So you're absolutely right.
So when you're designing the new facility, how do you go about approaching that? Like, have you spent a lot of time thinking about it?
Yeah, I spent 14 years doing it. Because, true story, when I was hired 15 years ago, we spent 1 year in the athletic department office was the weight room. And so you guys can't even conceptualize it because you were 3? How old are you, 17, 18?
I'm 17.
Yeah. You were 3 years old when we were in the first weight room, and it is our current athletic offices, and we had 2 bigger, faster, stronger half racks, like 4 treadmills and a couple dumbbells, and that old cable stack that broke last year was in that facility. So
the original one.
Yeah, that Paramount has gotten its butt kicked a little bit. Was in that weight room, and then we had, the same PA program structure we always had. It was a nightmare. We had hundreds of kids going through that facility.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had kids in the hallway.
So it's been popular as a...
Yeah, of course. And then my office was in the closet where the kitchen is now, and I had a sliding door. It was like a drive-through window.
So there's a kitchen over there?
Hell yeah, that's right. If you kind of go out the hallway, the right-hand hallway to the Vaughn Center.
Right up there.
Yep. On the right-hand side, there's a door labeled kitchen. and they kind of use that for the events like PSIT and things like that. That was my office, and so I had to come from pro baseball where I was carrying dumbbells onto the bus, and so the fact that I had an office was amazing. So life's all relative, and so when kids get down or up, it's all relative. So I was thrilled to have a job and an office and kids to work with and high-level athletes, and I said, here we go, let's go. And so I didn't complain or make excuses, I just made adjustments, and then here we are 15 years later. So the point at that first year was 2009. You got to do your history lesson, fact check me on this one, but the financial crisis of 2009 hit.
Right.
We had a major donor who pulled out, and the weight room was never built, and so it was going to be in that existing space, but we had a major donation coming that was going to fully restore that space with a lot of new equipment. The financial crisis hits of 2009, and that donor pulls out, and then we did an okay job, painted it, put new lights in, bought a few of the racks, like kind of the gold racks out here we put there.
So that was in 09 it all came?
Yeah, 2009, put about a couple $100,000 into it, which is a big deal. But that space was massive. It is massive. 8,500 square feet with turf was a big deal. So fast forward to now, because your original question was like, how we design that facility, and the point is I've been evolving for 14 years, so what I would have designed then is a little different than what I would design now, based on the logistics of what we're trying to do. Because we kind of made this year an evolution of the varsity athletes in the weight room. Some of the non-athletes or non-varsity athletes were excused from the gym. We're doing other non-weight room activities like PA. They don't say PA anymore. I forget what they call it anymore.
I think they call it PA.
Do they?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Campus games.
There's other variations of that too. But
swim club.
Yeah.
Non-weight room activities. And that's great.
And that's just to control the space in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, like your sophomore year, I don't know if you remember, it was a zoo. We had when the growers were in there, it was over at least 100 kids in there.
I love that though. I love when the gym.
I'm glad you liked it because it was a freaking nice. As a kid, it's probably, you talk about that vibe and the culture, and there was just a lot of kids getting work done, and you like the chaos. As a single dad strength coach, as in the only one in charge, it was a nightmare because I'm trying to coach up kids at the same time, make sure that people aren't hurting themselves. It was wild. It was wild.
Well, you did a good job. I see you walking around all the time. I know we talked at the end of sophomore year for the interview I did for my...
Did we?
Remember the mobile video workshop project? We spoke for 10-15 minutes.
So you've been in this audio video thing for a little bit now.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, since I was a kid.
Okay.
I think it's.
What did we talk about sophomore year?
Sorry?
I just cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I mean,
you're the host.
Yeah. So I remember when we spoke last time in sophomore year for that documentary for mobile video. You always mention your love for what you do.
Love for what?
Love for what you do.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you've always seemed to be pretty good at that skill of managing a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a skill honed over a lot of years. And being a dad.
Have you always loved the work you do in terms of coaching people, working with people in senior development? Is that?
Yeah, the progress is what's up. So I actually thought about this the other day. Standing next to some of our post-grads who do put work in, it's nice and it's easy for Instagram to stand next to some super jacked post-grad that's been in the gym for a couple months and say, we did this and claim, credit for all this work, but that's not true. While we've led them, they had a good 9 months. The bulk of their work was laid in the foundation, just like the 9th graders and 10th graders here. So I enjoy the 4-year stories, 3-year stories like yourself. Ray's another great example of that, a 4-year story. Eric Cho, 3-year story. Nate Bush, 2-year story. I think about some of our Iron Falcons this year. But I enjoy the progress. Luke Treese last year is a 4-year Iron Falcon. My favorite of the 3 and 4-year stories that those kids that put the work in, they came in either underdeveloped physically, and over those 4 years, magically, put in the work, and the bodies have responded. And so those are my favorite moments for sure.
Yeah, I remember.
That's why the high school level's pretty magical.
I think just at the high school level, there's so much development you see in yourself.
Yeah, and social too, physical, social, emotional. It's an amazing time, especially as a boarding school. Mm-hmm. Kids grow up here a lot faster than just public school in general, especially with my experience and some of the public schools I work with currently in South Jersey. Kids just kind of grow up here faster. Got to grow up.
It's really that prime spot because I think when you're in middle school, you still lack a lot of autonomy.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of in that middle stage where you're so ready to gain that autonomy. But then,
Wow.
really it hits in 9th, 10th grade, and especially if you're boarding
Think
here.
so?
Yeah.
10th grade, huh?
9th, 10th grade, I think is when it hits that you realize you have agency of your life and you can do shit.
It's a wild ride, man, because my son's in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And he may or may not come here in 9th and 10th grade. But to picture him here in a few years is just a wild thing. To him, grow up, sit across him in a chair in a few years. And he's 17. Yeah, the development's crazy, man. I'm just happy to be along for the ride and help kind of steward a few kids into some gains.
You mentioned that as you see your kids age, it's both exciting but also scary at the same time.
Hell yeah. Every dad goes through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to freeze time. When they were babies, I wanted to accelerate time because they were absolutely a nightmare, as babies do get sometimes. And then when so MJ's 13 now, my daughter's 9, she'll be 10 this summer. And now it's fun and innocent and you're happy to be around. And sure, there's some roadblocks, but they're essentially fun to be around. And so want to freeze time to when they're teenagers and the problems get bigger and there's prom night to worry about. And all of a sudden MJ's driving and who knows what's going on at night. And Taylor's going out on a first date, and it's like, whoa! It's control as a parent, and so right now is a beautiful time. But I think it's going to be fun, and I'll embrace whatever that ride brings us. And so I see here every day in the weight room and talk to kids all the time about their path. That's what fascinates me is a person's path, and the path here in high school kids, and then just learn about your parents and what they did, because ultimately their actions have brought you here as well, and so. The family's path is fascinating for me.
How do you think your perspective on life changed when you had your children? Because that's something I think about a lot. I've been excited for that stage of my life as well. I'm enjoying the stage of my life
You're
as
way
well.
too mature.
I mean, every now and then I think about fatherhood and I get excited about it. Sometime in my 20s I definitely want to start going in that direction.
Okay.
I know definitely a lot of people talk about how it's almost like a different kind of purpose emerges when you have those children.
Sure.
So how would you describe that shift?
So kids and injuries reshape every strength coach's journey. I joke, I don't trust any young strength coach until they have any injuries or kids because they don't know anything about anything until those moments. So until you have injuries, personal or kids, you don't have the ability to protect or see the future. And so the programs you write are for these invincible 22-year-old boys. And that's a far different program that you're going to write for a 9th grade kid who's never trained, or basically the vast majority of high school athletes. They are not invincible, fully developed 22-year-old men. And so until you've had knee, ankle, shoulder, back injuries combined with the desire to protect your kids and put them in the right positions to succeed, I take those programs with a grain of salt and kind of mentor young coaches as to be looking out for this and look out for that because I can see the future. And so I try to protect the kids with some of the programming we do and try to build them up as if I would, build up my own kids and then finally try to be the coach that I want my kids to have. That's kind of how I coach you guys up.
When you see some of those injuries over time, have you noticed patterns emerge as in what leads to those injuries? What have you noticed come back?
Well, it's overuse and specialization. And so, aside from the obvious ones like the combat sport of wrestling, you're going to get a strained elbow from getting put into some sort of position that's unavoidable or just kind of a tactical hazard of the sport of wrestling. Those are in a different category. But the avoidable soft tissue injuries are typically from overloading a pattern too quickly. So applying that 22-year-old man-child program to a 14-year-old boy is a recipe for a disaster.
Give me an example of...
So some 22-year-old Instagram model is going to start programming squats. Some 14-year-old kid reaches out and says, I want to get jacked like you. Instagram trainer says, all right, let's get squat. Kid's like, let's do it. And the volume would be, Instagram trainer says, you got to start doing 6 sets of 10 squats. Kid's like, okay, let's go. And 60 work sets or 60 work reps is way too much for a deconditioned athlete who couldn't do bodyweight squat a week ago. And so they go right to the barbell, and that overloads your core musculature and the lower back a little bit when you back squat. combined with the volume, and you're just screaming for a lower back injury.
Is that increasing the chance of an injury there when you're squatting by making mistakes squatting, or even after your session's over?
Oh yeah, you could have a perfect squat, but anytime if you overload, so if you have the perfect squat, your lower back muscles are still preventing extension or flexion or movement within the squat. You could have perfect squat technique, but the capacity of your lower back muscles just aren't there yet because you're an underdeveloped 14-year-old boy. But the 22-year-old Instagram trainer who's never had an injury doesn't think about that. Or they're doing machine squats, or they're doing Smith machine squats or supported squats. And so a free barbell back squat is just too much for that kid. And that can be applied for deadlift, bench press, all the big stuff. And so I see too much volume. And then overuse is also the specialization piece. So we have full year runners, full season swimmers, full season rowers. And so we got to protect against those kids as well. And so anytime you're doing the same movement or same, exercise or sport pattern throughout the year, we got to design a program that will kind of help build the muscles that support those and prevent against overuse best we can. But when you do that at a young age, you get in trouble.
Yeah. Something I've noticed in myself more recently.
I'm listening. I only look back because there's, just keep an eye on things.
Yeah, no problem. You ever need to get up as well?
No, we're fine.
Yeah.
I suppose just finishing up.
I think one of the patterns I've noticed in myself, at least this post-wrestling season, is that I really enjoy being in the gym. Mm-hmm. And I think the quality of my day and life is just better if I get a workout in. Because I think there are benefits of working out and just in how you feel throughout the day.
Heck yeah.
Which is why when I take a rest day, I kind of just feel shitty all day. So I started coming every day for the first time.
Okay.
And what I do is I'll do my workout as long as I want, an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I try to get all my volume in, and then I'll just keep doing that until I get really, really tired, and then try and take a break, but not even take a break and still come in and do some stuff. And my only thing that I'm noticing with that is that maybe that could compound to a point that even just one rest day won't recover me enough to go back tomorrow and push myself as hard as I can. And maybe sometimes after I've gone 10, 12 days, I'm just not pushing myself as hard as I can on those workouts, and it might be leading to a workout that's not as efficient in terms of the goal I want, which is to get high quality reps, high quality volume to gain that muscle.
Okay.
So yeah, what are your thoughts behind that scenario in terms of?
Ooh, that's a big one. So how do you marriage mental health and performance goals? That's a big one. That sounds like a title of a book. Everybody wants that mental health piece. So 2 parts. If you proactively give yourself a rest day, you won't feel like a piece of shit and like a lazy guy. So if you map out your week or 2 weeks or a month and you specifically choose a few days as active recovery days or just straight out of the gym, then you won't feel bad because that day is proactively getting you back in the gym the next day or the day after stronger. But if you truly enjoy just these 4 walls and hanging with your buddies in the senior year and you want to get in here every day and do something, that's cool too. So then if that's the case, we just have different emphasis. So what's your split right now? Remind me.
I'm doing Arnold split right now.
Okay.
Switched, yeah.
And what is that?
Chest back, shoulders, arms, legs, and rotate.
Okay, so you got 6 days a week. Okay. Yep. So 4 uppers, 2 pull, and a legs twice a week. Okay. And so very bro split. I dig it. Everybody's got to go through that same split. So if you want that 7th day, if you do some core strength or some stretching to facilitate recovery, you're still in these 4 walls and you feel like you got some work done because the actions you took in this gym got you closer to your goal of getting high quality work. So that's how I would attack it. And then proactively take some days off or support that 7th day as a recovery day.
So I guess the real question emerges, like, how do we spend that 7th day? And so some of the options you've given: core strength.
So it comes back to injury history. Do you have any?
Well, a while back. Like
what's that?
Year. I broke my arm in sophomore year.
Broke your arm how?
Wrestling.
At a bone or a ligament?
It was a minor fracture on a bone, yeah.
Okay. So that's a bone that's healed.
But yeah, it's long.
And that's not affecting your current workouts. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So you're a healthy young man who was taught and coached well over the last 3 years, and you've built up the capacity to handle this 6-day split. So because we don't have any specific injury history to worry about, we would do some general knee, ankle, all the joints of knee, ankle, hip, lower back and shoulder, stretching to make sure the joints are active and happy. And so specifically it would be ankle mobilizations like football does them after their speed workouts where they have a band attached to the rack. The band is then wrapped around your ankle and you kind of lunge into it, pulling your ankle back. I should put this on silent. Okay. Oh boy. We'll be moving away from power blocks next year.
Which ones? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Those ones?
kids drop those all the time. Drive me
Yeah.
freaking crazy. PSA for that one. Stop dropping your power blocks. It drives me crazy. Those little tips, they break all the time. It's not power blocks' fault. They built a great dumbbell. You keep dropping them. Your problem. Stop it. Okay, and then the hips and shoulders, a lot of it is seated. So we're seated right now, so we start to get tight hips, and we tend to get a little bit hunched here.
Yeah.
The thoracic spine tend to get a little bit stiff, so it would be, in general, lunge stretching in sort of lunge position to respond to that, and then any sort of thoracic extension or rotation. And specifically that looks like laying on the ground with a foam roller under your mid-back and you're just kind of arching back, that's your extension, and then laying on the floor and crossing over and rotating away from that knee would be rotation. And then a lot of band pull parts of the shoulder just because we develop a lot of this pinched or hunched forward posture from just sitting down like this. And so then you couple in 2 days of bench, 2 days of shoulder press, 4 days of press. It's a lot. And we don't have any pull-down machines or cables right now, so our back machines we've talked about, unfortunately, at a little bit low right now. So we got to hammer the barbell row, the dumbbell row, the landmine row, pull-ups, face pulls, and chest-supported.
Yeah, well, there's enough I think we work with.
It is, but you got to get more volume of those 5 exercises because that's all we got. So that went back to our first discussion of like designing the gym and programs. Point is you can't control your variables, control the controllables, so to speak. You know, no use complaining about the lack of back machines. Not going to change. So control the controllables, and so we can control barbell dumbbell rows, landmine rows, face pulls, and chest support rows. And so we just get savagely great at those, and that'll support all our pressing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you wrote books on nutrition as well, right?
I wrote my thesis, a graduate thesis on dietary supplements. Gosh, what was the title? That was like 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
And I remember interviewing college and pro athletes about their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors in dietary supplements. Bang! Oh, I just pulled that right out of my butt. Attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. So basically, the emotional side, like what were their perceptions on dietary supplements. And so that was my thesis, and we found out that the athletic trainers at the time had a big influence on their decisions, and that ultimately athletes needed more education. This is 18 years ago, so the education has certainly picked up, and social media has been a big part of that. Education is no longer the
There's so many
obstacle.
people online that are providing useful information to help you with, recovery, with how
Correct.
to work out.
Knowledge is not the barrier it once was. The barrier is now who to trust.
Yeah.
And so when you're a 17-year-old boy looking around like, flipping through like recovery shit and like protein, it's like, who do I believe? Who do I trust? It's going to be really hard.
Because it is true that maybe 90% of the internet you can't trust.
Well, I think it's that high.
I think that on Twitter, maybe 80% to 90% of the accounts are not even real. I believe a large percentage of them are bots created from even foreign countries.
Really?
Yeah, at least if you open Twitter, you feel like you're in a war zone. But most
I don't even have Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I have an Instagram for the school to help recruit athletes to our weight room facilities. I don't have any personal accounts.
And for any social media?
No, hell no. No purpose.
Well, I actually deleted my social media accounts maybe like 2 years ago.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, my son's 13. He's asking for Snapchat. That's a short discussion of no.
Really?
And then he asked for TikTok last summer. I said absolutely not.
I think TikTok's the worst one.
Yeah, very toxic. Because there are wonderful things out there, wonderful communities, different places to connect, sources of information, wonderful. But until you're adult enough to handle the toxic areas, it's trouble. And and then kids start to compare themselves and then feel left out.
So many problems with
Oh, there's trouble.
I mean,
It's coming. I'm not saying no, like we're stuck in the 70s or the 80s, and I'm like, you can't do it, and I'm just hoping he doesn't. We're saying no right now and trying to teach him how to handle that situation because it's coming. You know, whether he's here or in public school, he's going to have social media.
yeah.
And so you just got to teach him how to navigate because that toothpaste is too far out of the tube for us parents to control anymore.
It's a difficult situation and how to deal with it because I definitely think it's useful to have it these days because of the social life that's integrated through that. But the more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I think a lot of it's an illusion. That you're really able to have strong relationships in the real world outside of that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a marriage of both.
I remember the first time I stepped away from it. It was really difficult for the first week or 2 weeks because all of a sudden I felt like my social life was taken away from me. That it's hard. Like I'm over the summer. How do I interact with people every day? Because I'm seeing their face all the time.
Yeah.
I think I realized that my relationships with people got better the second I stepped away from it. I mean, not the second, but over time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the relationships you build before are not as authentic as the ones you have when you just connect with people in person.
Sure.
And I think it goes at a deeper level. And
When's the last time you picked up the phone and called somebody?
well, I have like messages and phone and everything, but
No. Dial the number and said, hey guys, spoke to somebody on the phone.
what do you mean by dial the number? Like I have their number saved.
Yeah, I'm talking about the old rotary phones. Yeah, you don't know much about that.
I've seen that.
Yeah, you find somebody's contact, hit send, and you actually have a phone conversation with them. When's the last time you spoke to somebody on the phone?
No one.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild. So it's messages and texting and what form of communication?
I just use messages on iPhone.
Messages,
and
okay.
calling.
So the written word
Yes.
and pictures and videos,
Yeah.
but no talking. FaceTime?
Yeah,
You
I FaceTime and phone and everything.
That's
yeah.
fair.
I just don't have social media accounts.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's FaceTime. Yeah, I should have. That's me being an old man. FaceTime counts for a phone call.
Okay.
Physically see somebody speaking face to face.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'll handle that. But don't do it in public. Another PSA: people who speak on speakerphone in public are so rude.
You think so?
I can't stand these people. Those who, they'll tell me. You'll tell me that then I can't stand you either. I should have taught you better. But they tell me that you can hear better via speakerphone. That's their excuse. I find it very rude in public that somebody's on speakerphone. I don't want to hear your conversation.
Yeah,
and you're in the middle of a group. Don't do it. Your parents raised you better. Don't be rude. That was my PSA on that one.
Do you think you'll ever allow them to own an account?
My kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Develop the understanding of how you approach it.
Yeah. They got to be taught how to do it. It's unavoidable. Whether the athletes right now got to brand themselves and do their college recruiting out of that, or I would imagine any sort of promotion, artist or dancer or musician, athlete, academic even, right? Any sort of
I'm not
self-promotion.
anti-internet because the internet's really powerful and connections-wise and growing your platform. Like this is a form of social media, I guess. Like sharing my things on YouTube.
You share
and
information,
Spotify.
right?
But I think the problem arises. I think having it on the phone is a big problem because the usage increases.
Say that part again?
Have it on the phone.
Oh, okay.
As like an app.
Oh.
I realize like my usage of it exponentially increases just because.
Sure.
You don't realize how much time.
Boom, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's like
Every split second you're bored, you're on the app.
could be, yeah. But it's in the form of discipline. And so, talk to kids about discipline. I have my kids right now have a time limit, and so they have to budget that time.
For what? For screen time in general? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So they have a budget, and so they got to budget that, and so that's another form of productivity and trying to learn how to work around things. And then eventually, when he or she, or both kids have apps or anything like that, managing time there, and then how to manage, because then you got to manage friendships in school and and hopefully athletics, with all that stuff.
So discipline is one of those values that you're trying to ingrain in your children. So
Oh, yeah.
what other ways are you trying to do that? Like,
Oh, with them?
yeah.
Empowering them for time management. So, for example, getting them ready in the morning. Now they got to be old enough. You know, when kids are like physically 5 or 6 years old, you got to like physically get them ready. But now MJ's 13, 7th grade, and then my daughter's 9 in 4th grade. And so I'll enable them to make their own lunch,
That's
pack
nice.
their own bag, get them, walk up. So MJ walks to his own bus stop. Taylor will walk to the end of the driveway. Pick out your own clothes, brush your own teeth, with subtle reminders of like, hey, you got 15 minutes. Let's get A, B, and C done. And then each kid responds differently to the discipline aspect to it. MJ responds, well, he doesn't really respond to anything, but I kind of lean towards, hey, you got 15 minutes to get A, B, and C done, or hammer's coming down. Taylor, my daughter, hey, you got 15 minutes, A, B, and C are going to happen, and that's it. She'll be happy as a clam just to go get work done, get her shoes on, socks, and brush her teeth, and be out in 15 minutes. She's fine, because she doesn't have any sort of adversarial bone in her body. MJ's a bit of a nudge, so to speak. And so he'll kind of push it a little bit. And so at times, but as a parent, you got to let them miss the bus to make your point. Thankfully, he hasn't done that yet, because I told him he's walking to school if he misses the bus.
In what ways have you think that ingraining that discipline has helped them?
Well, it's because their peers are not. If I raise two kids that can shake hands and create eye contact and hold a conversation, I am a brilliant parent. Because with social media, and kids are at home all the time on their devices, kids can't make eye contact, hold a conversation, or or shake hands. It's wild. I'll see kids leaving sports practice and they're just like this seconds after practice is over. And so I just got to zig when their belts are zagging. And then let them come here and become, super academic-minded, podcasting, creatures that are going to go on to an amazing college career.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you don't have
maybe you
time,
mish.
Yeah. Another benefit is when you're not distracted all the time.
Woo!
You're able to spend more time in deep thought and have more clarity on your own life as a whole. I think that's one of the benefits I saw immediately after I stopped using it as much.
But the phone is still a vehicle for you in the academic world, right? So you're going to have that discipline to not click on the social media, right? Mm-hmm. But you, all in all, just deleted the physical apps on the phone.
Yeah,
right?
So I used to have like a normal screen time of 3-4 hours, like a lot of time. But I think over the years, I've been trying to drastically decrease it as much as possible. Okay. And I've reached a point now where I average like 20-30 minutes a day on my phone.
Ooh. So where are you doing your research then? You got a computer for that?
Yeah, I have a computer.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean by research? Like just for?
Yeah, I'm thinking like academic stuff. Like,
I work on my computer. Like I don't count the screen time on my computer. I'm only on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. So I find kids also just doing that. Anybody doesn't have a computer, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
He will eventually, but it's just real simple. Just pull it out and then chat GPT, whatever you got questions about, but then it kind of goes into that. Whoa, gosh, I got to find it. You follow up this, and you're down all of a sudden 45 minutes.
But I think the clarity you gain is such a benefit you find in your life because
of deleting the apps?
Clarity in just life in general, where you're able to. I think the shift that I realized was that I was able to think more deeply and about my life as a whole, and basically where I am, where I want to be, how I want to get there, in terms of what's important to me, what are my values, what makes me happy in life. And I think that since that feeling of discomfort that we always run away from, of maybe existentialism or thinking about life as a whole, is so much effort and work that when we run away from that to distraction, it ends up compounding and we don't have much of that clarity in life. And I know a lot of people I've talked to have said that as they age, they've gained that clarity with time, and that a lot of people in youth these days don't have clarity just because they haven't aged enough yet. But I noticed that I immediately jumped from a place where I'm kind of just on autopilot, just doing what I need to do, going to school.
Yeah, senior spring, yeah. You got it's a very one-track college. Simple. So when you can focus all your efforts onto one thing, it's simpler.
Yeah, but when you think about the problems with the phone, what is the first major problem thing you think that comes to mind?
Like with the kids?
Yeah.
Or just here?
In general, just phone usage.
It would be distraction from the task at hand. So I see it here. Of course, we have Team Builder, right? We log our workouts in Team Builder. It takes a certain level of discipline to just say 40 pounds, 8 reps, and then go back to your work and not just swipe it and then be like, oh, you know what? What did the Yankees do yesterday, or whatever the hell kids are doing on social media? I don't give it. I don't follow any of that stuff, or viral videos, or whatever the hell you guys are reading about online. But it takes a little discipline to just kind of punch your weights in, go back to your work, versus swiping over and looking at whatever you got on social media or whatever Snapchat, Sean sent you earlier. So that distraction, and then the unfortunate comparisons kids make themselves on social media with either athletics or academics or arts, and just unfairly comparing themselves to other people who are just in different life cycles and contexts and all that stuff, or not being involved in socially.
I think the problem with the comparison piece is that we'll compare ourselves naturally as humans. There's nothing wrong with that, but the level is exponentiated too through social media.
Yeah, everybody's beautiful online.
It goes from 1 to a million.
Yeah.
Not only because, first of all, you see everyone in the world who's the best at what they do, but second of all, again, most of the stuff you see is not even real to begin with. And
it's wild, man. I didn't know everybody was beautiful in the world. Every time I go to the airport, everybody's ugly.
I know you're not on social media, but a lot of people that are on social media talk about, they go on social media and they think the world's going to end in 3 days. You go on Twitter, these people are yelling at these people, these protests are happening here, this war just broke out here. But you go about your normal life and you don't see some crazy
the news
left
is
or
awful.
right-handed person.
My parents loved the news growing up, but I don't know, I didn't watch it. But now the news just is depressing. The local and national news, so I got no time for that.
People are a lot more normal in the real world than the people you think they would be like when you just see them online.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I've never met the expression. You ever heard the expression? You don't want to meet your heroes. Mm-hmm. I've never had a moment. I never really met one of my heroes, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I imagine meeting these YouTube influencers or whatever. I think they have events, things like that. Meeting them might be a challenge. And so.
In what way?
Well, if the online stuff is as false or as misleading as you're saying, what they're talking about online or influencing kids online is just a persona and not real, that's dangerous.
I would say for the influencer space, there are definitely a lot of authentic influencers, but I think the piece that people get wrong with a lot of them is that they're flawless.
Yeah, especially on the fitness side, right? You got to be either jacked or super lean to even be worthy of going in the gym. So I agree. Yeah, it's a mistake a lot of people make because many people find the gym for all sorts of different reasons. For you, it was the mental health you talked about, and then also getting stronger for the sport of wrestling, and then finally just becoming more physically fit for your personal satisfaction. Other people find the gym and they might be overweight, trying to lose a little weight. And that's a tough one because they might see other fit people and get self-conscious. But everybody has their own path and should be allowed to do so.
I remember Elon Musk said a quote on Lex Friedman's podcast. Most people think they want to be me, but they don't actually want to be me. If they knew the inner texture of my mind, they would not want to be me. And I think that goes toward the point that to get to a place of success, you have to sacrifice so much that you don't know what you'd actually trade to be in that position.
No.
Like, for example, I think there was a video of, Tiger Woods. People think of him as a successful golfer. He should be really happy. He has all the success, but apparently his relationship with his wife is terrible. And you have to really choose what you're sacrificing for. And it's not to say that all success is bad. You shouldn't chase success, but you shouldn't look at your heroes as gods, that they're flawless, that everything about them. And I think that's where the misconception comes with what we see online.
There's college football is a place a lot of strength coaches want to be. A young strength coach like me, I was thinking about going to the big-time college football because you kind of see people around. I didn't play college football, played high school football. But you see the coaches run on the tunnel, and it's very exciting. There's 100,000 people. UMich, right? Got Harbaugh, you won the national championship, like being the strength coach there, running out the tunnel, being the sidelines. It's an amazing thing, right? And for those 3 hours on a Saturday, it's amazing. But what that strength coach did to get to that spot is an unreal amount of sacrifice. First of all, they put in more hours than anybody on staff. The NCAA allows the strength coach unfettered access to the athletes, so they can lift you around, which means we're working year round. And then also the years it might take to get to that spot. You're putting in years at the Division III level, and you're putting in years at the Division II level. Maybe even you're doing some assistant work up at the pro level, and then landing at the head job of UMich because you have a relationship with Harbaugh. But you built that over years of going untold amount of different places, maybe sacrificing relationships or family in pursuit of this one big goal. And I did a little bit of that when I was younger. I was, I graduated college in 2001, and then grad school was in 2005. And by the time I was 28, I lived in 7 states and had 13 different addresses in the pursuit of being a coach in professional baseball. And those stops took me from Adelanto, California to Butte, Montana to Bradenton, Florida to Flagstaff, Arizona to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It was a wild ride, and I was sleeping on queen-size blow-up mattresses and somebody else's couch, making $1,000 a month.
I remember you wrote that your city is defined by your family, your friends, and your
yeah. And so early in that career, it was defined by work, because there were no friends or family, because I was in a city for a year or for the season, and so it was transactional. And so when I got to like kind of my late 20s, I decided I wanted to focus more on the friends and family side of it. And so I'd finished up at IMG, and lucky enough that somebody there was starting a basketball academy in New Jersey in 2009. So it was about 6 hours from where I grew up in Rochester, New York. So the family piece got a little more in the picture. Still not a lot of friends, because I was just moving from place to place, year to year. And of course I had my college friends, but you were traveling to see them. Yeah. So the daily basis of friendship wasn't there, and there was no social media or FaceTime to kind of connect with everybody. So it was work and family. And then...
So did you have your family at this time?
No. Was I married, you mean?
Yeah, were you married?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But about a year or two into that, I met my wife, Kelly. And then Jersey girls don't leave. And that was it, baby. And so I've been here since 2009. And so 6 hours from my family, so we had a chance to visit them. And then, of course, developed relationships. I've been in the same area for like 15 years, so checking off all 3 boxes right now with work, family, and friends. And so every city's defined like that in my experience. And so you'll see that when you get to UMich, and then wherever you go for grad school and wherever the world takes you, you'll see it.
When you think about the decades of work that you've done and the things you've achieved, both in yourself and in building Peddie, the culture here, the gym here.
Yep.
And you think about where else you want to be and what else you want to achieve. What else do you think about is like the next step, as in this is the direction I want to move in? Or is there that direction, or are you satisfied and fulfilled of what you've achieved?
That's a good one. So I think about, my wife is in business, and so it's very black and white. You're just moving up the ladder, and you're making more money and getting that promotion. It's just like up, 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 and up. Teaching is not like that. And so as a strength coach, I'm kind of at the top of the food chain here, because I have built the program and I'm the director, and there's nowhere to go inside the school of Peddie. Some guys move into the athletic department, but then I'm off the floor and I'm coaching, and I want no part of that. But professionally, it would take moving into a different area. So making a jump to the college program or making a jump back into the professional ranks. But I enjoy the high school athletics, and my kids might very much go here, and coaching them would be an amazing piece. So for right now, we're good. I'll be here for as long as it takes. I think I'll have definitely like a second act, so to speak, when my kids are up and out or whatever they decide to do. And that second act could include, a whole host of different things with fitness. I've gotten into so I coach Challenger baseball, which is special needs baseball in Mount Laurel, and really enjoy that. So I thought about fitness programs for that sector, a lot of autistic kids, and how can I help them. So I guess I'm still going to stay in coaching and fitness, but maybe just different populations. So I've done the athletes for a long time. Yeah. And the adults, I work with a couple adults in South Jersey, and they're a lot of fun. So, it's not really, kind of going for that logo of UMich or the Chicago Bears or the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of early 20s ideas, and so not really chasing logos anymore. Just kind of...
You're happy and satisfied.
Just kind of working for, job satisfaction. Every day's a little different. Every day has challenges. Like today's a great day, right? We had football speed, baseball off season. Great day. Finish with a podcast. It's all good.
So when do you think you found that satisfaction in the work you do? Did it take time, or was that there from the beginning?
Let's see. It was... So I remember being a personal trainer during grad school, and I remember the first client that lost 25 pounds. She was like thrilled, and I was a part of that journey. That was awesome. And then athletically, I was with the George Washington baseball team, and it's a little superficial because as a strength coach and the athletic trainers, we don't play for the team. We don't go to bat, we don't pitch, we don't run, but any team success, we're allowed to kind of jump on that and be a part of it. Although when it goes the other way, first guy fires the strength coach. So if UMich has two losses this upcoming year, watch out, strength coach.
With 2 losses?
I don't know. It's just all it takes, right? If you don't beat Michigan, if you lose to Ohio State and you get 2 or 3 losses, the Michigan fan base is gonna be like, "What the hell is going on here?" Get Harbaugh back, and they're like, "Okay, something's got to change, and it must be the strength coach. He's got to go." So we're definitely first in, first out kind of situation, but. Progress, it's when you see it took a few years here because there really wasn't a program. There was a guy before me that did some work with the basketball teams, I'm told, but there wasn't a formal position of strength coach here. And like I said, it was upstairs in the athletic offices where there was 2 racks and like 3.
Oh, so you said that the whole gym was up in the athletic office?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, like if you think back to the old weight room, anything white framed was in the old gym. So
this is barely any.
Barely anything. Yeah, we had 2 racks, a glue ham.
So you included like the back machine?
The back machine. Yep.
That's old.
All those dumbbells over there were in the old weight room.
Those are OG dumbbells.
Oh, they're older than me.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was about it. I mean, we're talking like a classroom. It was a large classroom.
Was that used also as an athletic office as well?
No. The offices were over by Mr. Roca's training room, actually. They were in the bowels of that athletic center.
Wow.
It was,
was that big room that is now the gym? Mm-hmm. Was that there before? Or was that?
Yeah, it was a pool.
Oh, that was a pool.
Yeah, that's what the balconies were all.
Wasn't there also a resting room in the pool?
Nah, could we share that wall? That resting room's always been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why the balcony's there, so parents and peers can watch the swim meets. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's a big old pool. We filled it in, built the weight room, and it took a full graduation cycle, so about 4 years, right? To go from a freshman to senior, so my seniors could then turn around and teach the freshmen. That's when I started seeing the happiness and the progress, and like, okay, we're building something here. Let's go. Because every year I was having to reteach because there's a brand new class in. But now as I have graduating seniors, yourself included, I can see something in the weight room and I can say, hey, go take care of Benedict or whomever, and so go fix this for him. And I can then turn around and go coach up another athlete because I've got you in the gym. I've coached for 3 years. You're essentially a deputized assistant. So it was my 4th year, my first graduation class that it started to kind of roll over. And then every year got better. And then as we got in here, it's really gotten better because we've taken the non-athletes and put them into different activities and focus on the varsity athletes. And so our team workouts have gotten better. And then that allows me to coach up the varsity athletes and have a different space, a different expectation, and a different standard to the workouts. So it's been great.
How would you compare coaching this year in the Vaughn with only the varsity athletes to before?
Well, I can now focus on them. The team build, everything is focused on the varsity athlete. There's one workout. There's not 6 because I got like all the non-athletes and all the rehab kids.
So
in
when
one
you say
space.
one workout, all the PA groups have the same workout?
Yes, all the off-season workouts. Yeah, we say PA. It's all the off-season groups. So in the spring, it's basically soccer, field hockey, tennis, and football. Well, they live in here, so it's that's the only sport that we program year-round for, and that's why they have different or specific speed days. But the 2 other groups in here, have the same workout because the goal is to be a better athlete. So those 4 workouts, those 4 days, are dedicated to being a better athlete, and so we're all going in the same direction. So there's better focus and better coaching, and so I can coach up the groups in a much more effective manner versus having all the non-athletes with all their different agendas and their bro splits and like getting in my way. I don't got time for that. And so this year's been wonderful. And so if you remember the old weight room, hot as sin, right? These are hot, wicked cold. They're normally in a snowsuit.
Oh yeah.
So
in this room it gets cold in the winter. I wasn't here in the winter. So.
I mean, the freaking doors are open. Is it raining out?
Might be.
Oh, this weather sucks.
It was a couple days at least when it got cold.
This weather sucks.
In April-ish. It's different this year.
So the weather in here is not nearly as bad as the old weight room. So I enjoy that.
I don't actually remember the weight room.
I'm happy you don't have bad experience because it was
got
freaking.
hot?
Oh God, it was
I
it was
know we
very
had
hot.
massive fans and everything. Yeah.
It was the fans didn't do anything. But you wrestlers wear like suits and love to sweat. So
Well, yeah, our
or maybe that's 1986. I don't really know.
Before they had the,
But yeah, will Coach Austin crank up the heat in the room to get a little sweat going?
yeah, we stopped doing that though. I don't know why, but originally it used to be a lot more hot, just to be sophomore.
Okay.
year. Yeah.
So you guys enjoy the heat, and then flip side in the wintertime, it's cold as hell in there. It's this big concrete box, so it's cold. Yeah. So I enjoy that here. I think there's some sort of HVAC in here, so I enjoy this whole space. It's been wonderful.
Nice. So what are the plans for the remainder of this year? I mean, we're closing out soon.
Yeah. We'll just finish up our last off-season workout was today officially.
Oh, so for everyone? All
but we'll have open gym because next week next week hit us fast because you got prom Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Right. Senior dinner Friday.
It really crept up.
Baccalaureate graduation, and bang, see ya.
We're out.
And then Monday, the underclassmen exams. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
And then boom, it's summertime, baby. So we got a week or so in here. So we just got to open gym, keep kids happy, finish up some workouts, and then make some summer plans for our dedicated athletes.
So how do you leverage the additional free time you get over the summer? Like, do you work on other projects at the summer?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
I am Mr. DIY. And so I work around the house, and I coach my kids. So I started a summer program for my son. So we do some youth football and speed training at the house. Got a sweet garage gym. We'll get a video of that for the podcast.
Yeah.
Speed agility in the driveway. So we'll do speed agility Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon. And then when noon strikes, I'm the dad. And so we go swimming or biking or play outside or whatever the kids want to do. And then tackle football for MJ will start August 1st. And so they get out of school, public school gets out June 21st.
That's so late.
So late.
That's how it used to be middle school for me, though.
Yeah. It's wild, man. I mean, college kids will come back May 2nd.
Yeah.
May 1st, May 2nd. What the hell are you doing here? And then my kids don't go to school. Yeah, June 21st.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go on vacation as a family until the 27th.
Where are you guys going?
And then we're going to Banff, Canada.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, I'm told. So I don't know anything about
So
it.
is that more of a nature kind of place? Or?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just along for the ride. It's my in-laws. They're amazing people. They created the trip. They want to go. It's a lot of hiking, and everybody that goes says it's an unreal place. So I can't wait. It's in Canada, really far away. So I guess I got a major plane ride coming up.
You go hiking before?
I mean, yeah, not real hiking. 2 hours up a mountain kind of hiking, right?
Yeah.
That's not real hiking. I feel like hiking's you get the water pack and you packed a lunch and
that's
you're ready to.
the multiple day hiking.
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
I'm not. No, I never done that. Never done that.
I'm not done a multiple day, but I think in the last year definitely my family and I have done more hiking.
Yeah.
We've only done day hikes so far just because we're with the whole family, so it's hard to.
Yeah, day hikes. That's where I'm sitting at right now. Yeah, day hikes.
But I mean, they've been always fun. I think just being out in nature, just exploring different places. There's also so many great places even nearby here.
Oh, really?
Over March break, I went to Delaware Water Gap, went hiking there with my friends. Went up to North Jersey as well. There's some nice spots over there. I mean, it's not like New Hampshire or anything. I was there last summer for my EXP lab in New Hampshire, but there's still definitely a lot of places we can go. And I think
that's the other thing. You guys get around.
Yeah.
You guys get experiences. That's pretty awesome.
I think Peddie definitely does a good job with that for sure.
Agreed.
Well, I think it's nice how you're always staying involved with the kids and doing a lot of active
thank
stuff.
you.
Because that's definitely an ideal I want to set for myself, going out biking, going out hiking, going out, I don't know, just going on runs with them too. I think the piece of health and fitness is going to probably be a theme for the rest of my life. I think it makes everything in life better, and I think it's such a critical piece. Just eating clean, not eating shit food.
Exercise is the best medicine. A lot of people are on medications. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And there's a piece for that. There's people in my family that have anxiety, and medicine certainly fits the bill, and it's wonderful. But some people just need to get out and exercise a little bit, and that would solve a lot of ills. And so I'm happy that you found exercise, and you're gonna be jacked. Putting in that time, man. You put in a lot of good couple years, and be excited to see what UMich turns out a couple years out of you.
I'm really excited for it.
Hell yeah.
I think they have a wrestling club there, so I'll be.
Oh yeah.
I'll be continuing. Yeah.
We have to make weight. We have certain.
I don't know how.
I don't want you to be restricted. If you're trying to get jacked, 165.
See, I think one of the biggest values I have is not committing to a singular type of lifestyle, where you should have periods of time where you're laser focused on a certain goal.
Oh, very mature.
But also periods of time where you are just free to kind of enjoy different activities.
You don't want to be typecast, so to speak.
The way I've kind of programmed this year, at least, is that from end of season, February, to August, I'll simply just focus on the bowl. Nothing else, no cardio, nothing else that's impeding on that. And I think I can get from where I was 120 to 140 based on now that I'm eating meat and everything. And I think over the last years, I've kind of figured out like the things that help me most in gaining weight. So far I've went from 120 to 130, which I wasn't expecting to hit it by now, but it's been pretty good.
10 pounds is a massive jump at that frame.
I think it's going to slow down definitely a little bit over the next, but I'm thinking I can still reach that 140 goal by August, by the time I'm going to Mish. And then my hope is that for the rest of the year, then from August to December, just focus more on the experience side of things, like say yes to more things, like going out wrestling.
College, freshman year, only get that once.
And
you only get one freshman year.
I think with how the club would work, I don't know if I'm actually competing in tournaments and stuff like that, or I'm literally just going for the practice. Because I'm happy. There's definitely a fun part of it, going out to tournaments and everything, but just going to wrestling practice is fun for me.
Wow.
As I know there's a club that I used to go to with Max called Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
So last spring we used to go 2-3 times a week, and we weren't competing or anything like in tournaments or just getting ready for the season, but just going 2 or 3 times a week. I think
you enjoyed the process.
It's so much fun.
The camaraderie of the guys.
Going with the guys, driving down, listening to music, and then
you might find a strength club in that manner. Like Ray's going to do some powerlifting in Georgia.
About that.
You might find some sort of strength club or fitness club at Michigan. Mm-hmm. Although there's something beautiful about having your own program and kind of getting your own thoughts.
Let's try both out.
But be open, right? You said? That's so impressive. Very mature.
Thank you for this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Today. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Learned a lot.
My pleasure.
Well, thank you so much. Maybe we can do this again, maybe sometime, because I'll be around over the summer. So.
Okay. I will not be.
Oh, you're not? Oh, because how long are you going?
No, you might catch me. We gotta equip the new weight room. If all goes well, we are in the new weight room a week before preseason football.
Oh wow! I'm gonna come down and check.
Wow, I was right. It's gonna be legit. And as an alumni, you are always welcome. And so, as an Iron Falcon, you're always welcome. So we will have to onboard a lot of the hammer equipment and do an install, I would imagine, some sort of early August. So, and then facilitating deliveries. I'll be on campus.
Amazing.
But Coach Brooks will be running the weight room.
Nice. Oh, yes, so he's gonna be here all summer.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have pictures of the old weight room in the admissions office? I mean, not the admissions.
There was the Peddie Chronicle. What's our newspaper? Is it Peddie Chronicle?
Peddie Chronicle.
They ran an article about in the first year of the weight room.
Wow.
If you reach out to whomever runs the newspaper, they would have some old pictures. Perfect. I do not. I don't even think I had an iPhone then. When did iPhone come out?
2010 maybe?
Yeah, I didn't have a phone. There was no pictures. I might have had some video. Definitely no video of the first weight room because I was just trying to. There was too much going on.
Yeah.
But the original weight room, yes. The newspaper took some pictures. Reach out to them.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
All right, sir. Appreciate it.
If you enjoyed that episode, then you're going to love this episode right here. Make sure you click here to watch that video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.